Welcome to the next part of our Let's Build series, of my Let's Build series of the Tronxy X5SA 500 Pro. The last part, or parts 4 and 4.5, were a little bit of a, well, I wouldn't say disaster, that is going too far, but complicated, to say the least, because of missing parts and, well, not thought through parts or manual, but everything is assembled now, and in part 4.5 you can take a look at what I have changed to actually get this far. So what screws I had to change and what things I did in between, like cleaning and so on. But we will leave all of that behind and continue with a fresh new start, so to say, and hopefully not encounter any more problems. I'm very hopeful about this. So what did we do last time in step 7 or part 4, step 6 and 7? We assembled these parts here. We installed these parts alongside the stepper motors here. We cleaned them, installed them, aligned them, which is relatively easy if you have the right parts. And that pretty much took most of the time, unfortunately. This time we will hopefully get along a little bit faster, and we will assemble the control box, so the power supply and the actual control box, and install these. As far as I know, there is no cable routing yet. This will be one of the last steps, so let's get the parts and let's start out. So, part 1, again, our frame, or I guess in this state of the project we can actually call it a 3D printer, our power supply, and our control box with the LCD. With the power supply, make sure before plugging it in, and you should make, you can do this already now, switch it to the voltage you need. In my country, this is 220 volt, but if you are, for example, from US, Japan, and some other countries that use 110 volts, you should switch it to 110 watts. Make sure that you aren't accidentally switched onto 110 volts, even though if your counter has 220, because the power supply will, well, it hopefully won't explode, but it will make some funny magic smoke. Not something you want to see in a new build, and definitely not something you want to smell either. So let's go ahead and install these two. These should in theory be rather easy to install. We just need to figure out where to install them, so the actual position. This is the front again here, front side, back side, and they tell us that the power supply should be installed on the left side here, so somewhere around here, but down there, and the alignment is this way. Okay, so right side on the front, something along the lines of this way. So this side. Okay. And the display should be installed right above it, on the right side, but on the top. So let's move it a little bit back so that you can see a little bit more. This looks good. Let me check with this camera. Yeah, you should see most of it from this angle as well. A little bit back, so this way. Okay, looks good. So what screws do we need? What screws do we have? This looks about right. Yeah. I will undo the screws completely because there is this brown tape on it. Paper tape or whatever. Painter's tape, perhaps. Which is there to protect the acrylic from getting scratched up. Which is great for shipping, but not so great looking. Okay. Also the screws. And get the tape off. One side off. And the other two. And let's remove these ones. There are a lot of washers here. Who knows for what? They don't really tell you about that in the manual either, why there are that many washers. Okay, this one does not want to cooperate. Guess I'm gonna clean this up off camera. This is just taking way too long for something like this. I'm probably going to disassemble the cover anyway. I'm probably going to need to disassemble it because the genius people at Tronxy forgot to remove parts of it beforehand, so the brown stuff is now stuck under the inlet, the power inlet, as well as around the screws. So to get it off completely, I'm going to need to disassemble this whole piece anyway, because I really hate these bits stuck to it. Really something that annoys me quite a bit. So I will leave it at that for the moment, so that we can continue assembly of this thingy. This is supposed to sit something like this. So let's do that. One of these. Another one here. And the last one. Okay. Looks good to me. This should slot in right here. Oh, great. Okay, that's the way it is supposed to be. Hopefully. Okay, this one is installed. So now the control panel. It is supposed to have 4 of the T-slot nuts, but only seems to have 3. So there's one missing somewhere. Which, I mean, at this point I'm pretty much used to missing screws, so not a big problem. And I believe they have included some spare ones. I would believe. I'm just going to use one of these and call it a day this way. this orientation. Okay. This one's a little bit too long. I guess these washers will do the job. Okay. And that concludes the electronic bits. Well, not completely, but at least the control box. So, step 8 completed. That was easy enough, fortunately. Only one screw missing. Let's get this back here and see whether you can see everything. Looks good to me. Back here. Yep, looks good. And the next step would be the print plate assembly. Okay. How do we do this? Step 1, we will need these things, which are the beams. We will need the heated bed, which is this one. Without the printer plate, that will just get in the way, so I don't know, I'll put it somewhere here. Why not? Looks good. We will need the nuts for adjustment, which are these. There should be 6 of them, and there are actually 6 of them. We need springs, 6 springs, and we seem to have 6 springs. Perfect. We need nuts, M3 nuts, 6 pieces, which I have seen somewhere. Here they are. So how many do we need? 6 pieces of package B nuts. Four, 5, 6, okay. Those are the nuts. and we need the screws 30 millimeters, 6 pieces M3, which is in this package. There are a lot of them in this package. So some of them are right size, some of them are longer. This is a 45, that goes in here again, alongside the washers. Well, these should all be 30 millimeters, but they do seem to be quite different in size. Huh. There are way too many in there as well. Let's see. This one is an M3 and it is exactly 30 millimeters long. But this one seems way too short. It's an M3, but only 24 millimeters long. Huh. So this is a mixed bag of different screws, which are supposed to all be the same. Well, this one is way too long. No clue. These should all be the same length. So the contents of package D seem to be interesting. There are way too many screws in there, which I believe are not used anywhere. So spare parts, I guess, or are you supposed to make up for the screws that are missing? No clue. Sorry, no clue about that. There are also supposed to be washers, which they forgot to mention in the materials. I can only see them in the pictures below that you're supposed to have them. So 6 of these washers, I believe, are the right washers. At least I hope they are the right washers. And we will put this away, we'll put it away. And see the orientation for where the beams are supposed to go. We would think that it would be something like this way. I would believe that. Okay. Okay. Well, so the heat bed connector is supposed to be in the front and connected to the side here. So like this. Okay, so this way and this way. This should be the right orientation. So let's insert the screws everywhere. Okay, the washers are not necessary for that. Okay, they go back. And let's get this assembled. I'll get the printer a little bit out of the way. Sorry for the noise, so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, this goes here. All the bits and parts are here. One, two, and the last for this side. By the way, I have no clue why there is a hole here in the middle, because you're not supposed to use it for anything as far as I know. I guess you can use it to modify something or to permanently attach a bed to it, but I'm not quite sure about that. And the springs on top, like so. Still have the feeling that the washers are supposed to go under there. Let me look into the manual whether they're actually used. No, they don't say anything about washers. So I will follow my gut feeling and use them anyways, because I don't really want those springs to wrap a hole here in the print bed over time. Okay. And another one. And this one. Okay, let's get to the other side and rinse and repeat. And the last one of these. Okay, let's make a short test to see whether they actually align. Looks good to me, this side. And okay, seems to be straight. Then the last part would be to get them screwed in all the way. This one is too big. Or is it? Okay. Okay. And there go my parts. Okay. Get all the springs. And I believe one spring went under the power supply. Okay. One's a little bit off. So okay. So, looks good. To me at least, looks quite good. The important part here is that the additional screw holes here and here are where the hotbed parts here are soldered to. because otherwise you won't get it far enough to actually attach here. If the holes are here, then you won't be able to mount the track chain properly. So let's see how they want us to attach it. The inside here, so along the lines of this, and we are supposed to use three nuts as far as I can tell. Yes, and 3 nuts. Are they pre-drilled? Ah, yeah, okay. So again, in search for these M3 screws. M3 by 8. Those are the right ones. Now also M3 by 6. That's one. And the other one. Oh no. And another M6 one. Where are they? This one should be the M8. Yes, 1/8. 3mm by 8. And another one. Perfect. Let's get that back in. Again, they don't mention these parts at the start. They forgot to add the quantities for those. So, well. And those were in package here. So the M3 ones are in D package, package D, and they want us to mount it this way. So the track chain is outwards, facing outwards, with one. Okay, only one. Yeah, apparently only one screw, because the other one wouldn't fit in. Yeah, great about that one. So you are supposed to only use one screw because the other one won't fit in. Because, well, why would you use 2 screws? It's not like it's going to improve it or anything. It's just, you know, for fancy design. Especially why are they telling us to use 2 even though you can't use 2 no matter what you do? I mean, it's not important that there are 2 screws in there, don't get me wrong, because it's not a mechanically, well, part that is going to be used much for mechanics and doesn't experience a lot of force. But still, that's, well, I guess that's the theme of the whole printer, isn't it? Okay, they want the track chain to be at the front, if I can see this right. Yes. Okay. So let's move all of this in the back. and move the printer in frame again. So, like this. Let me make sure. Yes. A little bit backwards, so. Yes, you should see everything. Perfect. Okay. And put it, let's get it on there. And you're supposed to use M4 by 12 screws to get it attached here. Well, M4 by 12. M4 by 8. M4 by 6. And 4 by 12. Oh, okay. There we are. Each side needs 4 of these. Four here. And another 4 there. Let's check again. Yep, alright, screws. Get the right tool. Okay. And they want us to mount it on the lower side. So like this. This. Okay. So let's screw them all the way down, and then this part should be finished. So now this looks like an actual 3D printer now, instead of a big pile of parts or junk, whatever you want to call it. Let's see whether this was the last step for this part. Not quite. We still need to get some 4mm M4 by 8 screws, which are supposed to be in the package here. Okay. Yeah, I call this 8. 2 bolt nuts, and attach the bed to the side, to the frame actually. Let me look it up how they want me to do this. So to the front, and the chain is supposed to fall down, hang down. Yes, this is, they already have the screws there. Okay. I guess, let's see whether I can get the bed up a bit. Okay, they are too crazy. So we'll have to do it like this. This will take forever. I guess let's end the episode here. And I will see you next time with the track chain actually attached here to the frame. and I will spare you the grueling work of basically lifting up the blade, and you will see the final result then. So until next time we have part 6. This is part 5 of our Let's Build of the Tronxy X5SA 500 Pro. Next part will be about the feeding motor assembly, so the Titan clone. Then the switch for the end stops. There's only one as far as I can see, which is not installed yet. And the filament holder. The last things will be the black sticker and seal assembly. The bracers here on the side. And then wiring. So until next time for feeding motor assembly and switch or end stops. Hope you enjoyed this series so far, and yes, until next time.